Welcome to Zurich. Most travel guides show you the lake, the mountains, and the chocolate. But on this channel, we look at the numbers before you book your flight. As you land at Zurich Airport in 2026, the first thing you'll notice isn't the scenery, it's the price of a train ticket to the city center. At nearly $7 for a 10-minute ride, Switzerland is already telling you one thing. If you aren't prepared, this city will drain you. Zurich is not just a destination, it's a high-performance machine. It's a place where the air feels expensive. For the average traveler, the shock begins at the arrivals hall. But for the smart traveler, the strategy starts here. Before you step out into the cleanest air in Europe, you need to understand that Zurich doesn't want your tourism. It wants your capital. This is the financial nerve center of the world, and every cobblestone on the street is polished with the highest cost of living on the planet. Let's talk about the biggest headache: accommodation. If you search for a digital nomad hub in the city center or near Bahnhofstrasse, you are looking at $250 to $400 per night for a basic room. For a nomad, that is a death sentence for your budget. But here is the before you go secret. To survive Zurich as a nomad, you have to look at the belt cities. Areas like Oerlikon or Altstetten offer co-living spaces and studios starting around $1,800 to $2,200 per month. It sounds insane, but in Zurich, that's a budget find. If you want it even cheaper, you look across the border or into the neighboring canton of Aargau, where a 30-minute train ride can save you $800 a month. We visited the impact hubs and co-working spaces. A daily pass? Expect to pay $35 to $45. A coffee while you work? $7. In Zurich, cheap is a relative term that doesn't exist in the local vocabulary. You are paying for the infrastructure, the 10-gigabit internet, and the silence. But is the Swiss standard worth the $3,000 monthly burn rate? In Zurich, freedom is defined by rules. This is a city where your neighbor will call the police if you throw glass in the recycling bin on a Sunday. It sounds like a meme, but it's the legal reality. The fine system in Switzerland is a hidden tax on the uninformed. Did you forget to validate your tram ticket? That's a $100 fine on the spot. Did you put your trash in a regular plastic bag instead of the official taxed Zurich sack? That's another $200. For a digital nomad coming from the chaos of Bali or the flexibility of Lisbon, Zurich feels like a high-security prison made of gold. The discipline is what makes the trains run on time, but it's also what makes the social atmosphere feel cold and mechanical. You aren't just paying for a room, you are paying to live inside a clock where every gear must turn perfectly. If you can't follow the rhythm, Zurich will spit you out. Let's get real about the most basic human need: food. In Zurich, a standard Big Mac meal will set you back about $18 to $20. A sit-down dinner for two in a mid-range restaurant? Don't expect to leave for less than $120, and that's without wine. For a digital nomad trying to maintain a budget, the restaurant scene in Zurich is a minefield. The strategy here is the supermarket survival. Stores like Migros and Coop will be your best friends. Even there, a simple pre-made salad is $10. Pro tip: look for the budget or pre-guarantee lines. Also, Zurich's tap water is better than most bottled water in the world. Don't waste $4 on a bottle at a kiosk. Use the 1,200 fountains scattered across the city. They aren't just for decoration, They are your financial lifeline. Bahnhofstrasse is famous for being one of the world's most expensive shopping streets, but the real action is happening 5 stories underground. Beneath your feet, as you walk towards Lake Zurich, are hundreds of tons of gold and the private records of the world's elite. This is the vault. The banking district is quiet, almost eerie. There is no shouting, no frantic trading floors. Everything is handled in hushed tones behind heavy oak doors. For the traveler, this area is a lesson in old money architecture. Notice the lack of flashy logos. In Zurich, if you have to show off your wealth, you probably don't have enough of it. This is where neutrality was turned into a multi-billion-dollar business model. The SBB, Swiss Federal Railways, is the gold standard of global transport. But precision comes with a steep price tag. If you are staying for more than a few days, the half-fare travel card is mandatory. It costs about $190, but cuts all your ticket prices in half. For digital nomads, the transport system is your office on wheels. The trains are silent, equipped with 5G, and more punctual than your heartbeat. But remember, Zurich is a zone city. Crossing the wrong line without the right ticket zone on your app is an automatic $100 fine. There are no excuses, no "I'm a tourist." The inspectors here are as cold as the Alpine glaciers. Where do you go when you need to escape the screen? Lake Zurich is the city's living room. In the summer, the bodies, public swimming baths, turn into social hubs. Some are free, but the premium ones cost about $10. If you want the influencer view without the price tag, skip the expensive rooftop bars. Instead, hike up to Wettliberg. It's a short train ride or a vigorous walk that gives you a panoramic view of the Alps and the lake for the price of a standard zone ticket. This is where you'll find the locals. They know that in a city this expensive, the best things, the air and the view, are the only things the government hasn't figured out how to tax yet. There is a psychological cost to living in a fortress of perfection. It's called the Swiss freeze. For a nomad used to the warmth of South America or the social buzz of Berlin, Zurich can feel isolating. People here value privacy above all else. Small talk is non-existent. Making local friends can take years. The city is designed for work and privacy, not for spontaneous connection. This is why the co-living spaces we mentioned earlier are vital. Without them, you are just a ghost in a machine of high-net-worth individuals who are too busy managing their portfolios to notice you. Zurich is a city that respects your space, but it won't hold your hand. Look closely at the apartment buildings in the suburbs. Most built before the 2000s have heavy steel doors in the basement. These are nuclear fallout shelters. Switzerland is the only country in the world prepared to house its entire population underground in case of a catastrophe. This bunker mentality explains the Swiss obsession with insurance and safety. They aren't just cynical, they are prepared. As a traveler, you are walking through a fortress that is disguised as a boutique. Every bridge, every tunnel, and every luxury hotel has a secondary military purpose. It's a fascinating hidden layer of the travel experience that 99% of tourists completely miss. So, here is the before you go final breakdown. Zurich is the ultimate test of your financial planning. If you are a digital nomad with a budget under $4,000 a month, you will struggle. You will be surviving, not living. But if you value safety, 10 gigabit internet, and a world where everything works exactly as it should, Zurich is the pinnacle. It is a sterile, beautiful, and incredibly expensive gilded cage. It's a place to visit to see how the other 0.1% lives. But for most, it's a place you'll be happy to leave once your bank account starts screaming for mercy. Before you go to Zurich, ask yourself, are you looking for an adventure, or are you looking for a vault? Thanks for watching our deep dive into the world's most expensive city. Subscribe for more reality check travel guides, and we'll see you at the next destination.